Alright guys, what is going on? Welcome to today's episode. I'm going to be working on the Corvette again, but today I'm really just going to be focusing on trying to clean the engine bay as much as possible. It's obviously extremely dirty from sitting for a good little while, and there's also a lot of oil that's caked all over the engine, and I want to kind of clean that up so that way I can see where all these leaks are coming from. I do think a lot of them are from the valve cover. It really does seem like that's where the vast majority of the leaks are coming from, but I'm sure there's going to be a couple more that I find as well. I did also find that my oil drain plug is leaking. That's probably just the crush washer that goes on there. No big deal on that at all. We need to do an oil change anyways. So today we're going to basically just be focused on cleaning the engine bay, kind of going over some things, making sure I don't find anything that's broken in the engine bay, just kind of going over, double checking a few things before we really start romping on this motor. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so I just wanted to give you a quick little update. I actually did a little bit of cleaning over here on the passenger side, as you saw. I figured it'd just be a little bit easier to get this valve cover off. So I wanted to show you guys what I found under the valve cover. I am actually very happy to see this. You guys kind of saw the progression take place and how dirty the engine really was, because it has 150,000 miles. It's been sitting for a few months. It's caked in some oil, caked in some dirt. You expect that on LSs, though. They can handle that. But the nice thing is when I took the valve cover off, and a lot of people don't know this, but this is actually a good way to kind of tell or get an idea how good your engine is. Take your valve cover off and just look at the oil inside of the valve cover where all your valves and everything are. It's extremely clean. There is hardly any oil buildup anywhere. There's a couple specks of dirt here and there, most likely from stuff I've dropped. So the biggest thing is I'm not going to be obviously running this until I get all this really, really well cleaned out. But honestly, there's not much I need to clean. It's very, very clean inside of there. So this is awesome. I'm really happy to see that. This actually makes me feel a little bit more confident in the motor. I was actually expecting to pick up another motor just to have ready, because who knows how long this one's going to last. And I'm still planning on doing that, but I don't think I have to rush it nearly as much anymore, simply because of the fact that this motor looks really clean, and it seems like it was definitely taken care of. Oil seems to have constantly been changed on it, because we're not seeing black old oil that's been built up and burned inside of the motor. So I'm going to get back to it and keep cleaning this thing. I'm excited. Alrighty guys, so a small and quick little update on the progress on the engine here. Like I said, most of the work's mostly been done over on the passenger side. I'm actually going to be deleting the EGR system as well. I went ahead and already ordered an HP tuners kit, so that way I can delete some of the factory systems that we're not going to be needing. And part of it's going to be the EGR. I really didn't want the air pump slash EGR kit, whatever they call it. I think it's called the air pump on these. But it ties into the exhaust manifold here. So we're actually going to be cutting off that tube, and I'll be using that flange and just welding it closed. to block it off for now. I do plan on eventually running some aftermarket headers, so that's why I went ahead and got the HP Tuners kit, because we're going to be needing that in the future anyways. I do have a new radiator on the way as well, and then I also just picked up some new gaskets. We're going to replace all the intake gaskets. We're going to also take the valley cover off underneath the intake, and we're going to do the valve cover gaskets. I think that's where the vast majority of the leaks on this motor were coming from, was the valve cover. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure to get that completely replaced. And while I'm pulling the intake off, might as well put new intake gaskets on. And since I'm there, I'm doing the valve cover as well too, because there's a good chance that could be leaking as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get back to it. We're going to start taking that intake off, and I just forgot I needed to get that piece, and I totally didn't. So I will be running back to O'Reilly.
Wash your hands so clean tonight. You can meet me on the other side. We're impatient like young gods. Feel the shift in the air with me, and the light is what you can't see. Keep on dreaming against all odds. Wake me up like a flower in spring. We're the sun when a new day begins. Like a spark that fuels the flame. Feel the earth shaking under our feet. Oh, this night is just all we need, when there's no one else to blame.
Alright guys, what's going on? Another update here real quick. As you guys saw, we got the intake taken off and the valley cover as well. That's taken off. I wanted to show you guys something I was pleasantly surprised to see. The valley cover and where the camshaft and everything is insanely clean. for a 150,000 mile motor. I am unbelievably impressed with how clean that is. You get a little bit of oil buildup at the very bottom from it maybe sitting for the couple months that it was waiting to be bitted on, but I'm absolutely impressed. Of course, inside the intake on the heads themselves, they were pretty dirty, as you guys probably saw. We cleaned those out really, really well. I'm very happy with how it's looking. It's actually impressing me how clean the inside of this motor is. I did not expect the inside of the motor to be this clean by any means. Right now, we're just finishing up. We're cleaning the valley cover itself. I got the inside of it all cleaned up. We get the new gasket. We're getting ready to throw that on, and then I'm going to do the intake gaskets as well while I'm in there, because there's no reason not to do them. While we're in there doing all this, I want to get the intake gaskets done, this valley cover gasket, and then we're going to be doing the valve cover as well. But we're also going to be painting the valve cover. I'm not sure exactly what color I want to do yet. I'm going to kind of leave that as a little bit of a surprise, but we're going to play around, see if we can get a cool cover or a cool color on the valve covers. Just something to touch up the engine bay a little bit, make it look a little bit nicer. But other than that, I think I'm actually going to go ahead and end it here. We've been working on this all day. It's pretty much been a full day of work on this. So I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. We're going to get back to it next episode, putting everything back together. And then I've actually got the new intake in. The new radiator should be in for the next episode as well. And I've got a couple of other goodies that I ordered for the car as well. Those will be in the next couple of days. So there's going to be a lot of updates on this. Make sure to stay tuned. If you're not already, please subscribe. Don't forget to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Make sure to add a comment if you guys have any questions. We're still looking for a name for this car, so put your recommendations in the comments down below, and I'll make sure to see you guys next time.